So this is what misconception happens among our young generation कि यार लोगो डिज़ाइन कर लेते हैं, बस किसी ने बोला कि वी आर गेटिंग पेड 18K फॉर लोगो 20K फॉर लोगो तो कर लेते हैं. तो बट होता क्या एग्जैक्टली ब्रांडिंग?
और डिजाइनर 6 और लोगो बनाना है 1.
कितना परसेंटेज मिला था आपको? तो
बीप कर दो उतना कम था.
हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू आवर पॉडकास्ट. आज हमारे साथ हमारे गौतम सर बैठे हुए हैं. ही टीचेस अस ब्रांडिंग एंड ही इज़ बीन टीचिंग अस फॉर 2 semesters एंड ही मेक्स आवर कॉलेज लाइफ अ लिटिल बिट अमेजिंग.
नॉट अ लिटिल बिट बट अ लॉट.
मतलब बहुत.
Glad to know that. Like
आपको नहीं मालूम था?
I'm in good terms with my students.
तो सर आप अपने बारे में थोड़ा बता सकते हो जो लोग नहीं जानते आपको?
So I'm Gautam Gajbar. I've been a visual artist for like probably 15, 16 years now. I would not want to put this into years because it'll make me old or sound me very prehistoric. Somebody who's living under the stones and doing carvings and paintings on the wall. But I've been doing this for a very long time, and I enjoy my work most of the times. And I've been privileged to work with like really good brands in India and also outside of India at a global stage.
That's amazing. So, आप बता सकते हैं like how did you get into teaching?
By coincidence.
Can you
So,
tell us more about it?
I was freelancing for a very long time. I'm still doing that. Then Rita ma'am happened to be teaching, who's the head of CD department right now. She was teaching somewhere else. I think it was Equal, which is another private design school. And then she said, hey, there's this gig where you can come and talk to kids. It started off with a workshop, I think, about design and art direction. So it was like a very first time me talking to kids and interacting with them, the Gen Z ones. And my impression at that point of time was very different. It still is. But then I said, why not, I'll go interact with them, see how things turn out. And then it went well. The workshop went well. It was received nicely by kids. We had a nice interactive session. For me, it is more about understanding the new generation or how they think, rather than me imposing my ideas or my school of thought on them. Because design is something we always keep learning. It's not like कि हाँ मुझे ये सब आता है. I've done it all and there is nothing beyond that. So you have to progress, be it trends or be it anything else. You keep evolving and you'll always have a better version of you. And you can learn from anyone. Age is not like a bracket where कि ये मुझसे छोटा है तो मैं नहीं सीख पाऊंगा. Like I get to know a lot of things from you all now also. So, and that's how I started liking it. So I did it for like a semester with them. Then I got called again. I used to do a lot of jurying at different colleges.
Okay.
So I had an idea of how to go about it. And it's the most important thing is how you communicate. You share if you're good at something, and if you're sharing that knowledge, you will be getting more out of it. So when you take something, you also need to give it back, especially to our community, the design industry, because it's going to help other kids and it's going to put good values in them or a good ethic to work, and that will be passed on. So I'm sure whatever I'm teaching you all, you will keep it with you, and at some point you will share it with someone who is in need. So अच्छे काम करना जरूरी है क्योंकि तुम लोग बहुत बुरे काम भी करते हो.
ना भी बुरा नहीं करते.
मतलब तो even the field, I mean, it's
50-50.
always like तुम लोग की भाषा में like what is the point of gatekeeping it?
Correct. So for you, like, how did you get into graphic designing? Where you thought कि यहाँ पे जाना चाहिए? Because usually when I was in my 10th grade, so I decided कि I should do engineering. I was preparing for JEE and mains, but टेक्निकली वो मेरा अंदर से सोल ने बोला कि तुझसे नहीं होगा, यू शुड नॉट डू दिस, सो आई गिव अप ऑन दैट एंड देन आई स्विच टू डिजाइनिंग. मुझे नहीं पता था ऐसे डिजाइनिंग नाम की कोई चीज़ एग्जिस्ट करती है. आई जस्ट स्टार्टेड फ्रीलांसिंग, सो आई वाज लाइक कि वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड टोल्ड मी कि यू कैन परस्यू अ करियर इन दिस. सो आपने कहाँ से स्टार्ट किया था? व्हाट डिड यू?
So mine was also something similar. My dad is an architect. My brother is also architect. My family has been into art for a very long time, so a lot of people don't know about it. And I have never had the platform or the scenario to share it. So my grandfather was an art director, an artist. My great grandfather was one of the old masters of India, Baba Gajbar. So art has been flowing in our veins for a very long time. This is currently our fourth generation. So my brother is also an architect. My cousins are into the same field. So I wanted to do something different. My dad wanted me to become an architect, but I did not because जहाँ पे मैथ्स कैलकुलस ये सब आता है मुझे वहाँ से दूर भागना था. जैसे जैसे मैंने मेरा 12th स्टैंडर्ड किया था, I used to have nightmares with derivatives and integration. I'm like, no ways I'm going back to that thing again. So I gave my entrance exam. I did well. Unfortunately, I did not do well with my academics in 12th. So
कितना परसेंटेज मिला था आपको 12th में?
बीप कर दो उतना कम परसेंट.
मेरे को तो 75
मुझे तो 49.7 मिला था.
अरे मेरे को तो और कम आया. मेरे को तो 44% आया था. 44.5 or something like that. But I had made up my mind कि it's not going to happen. Even though I was more like I had seen my grandfather, painting canvases on an easel and everything. So I grew around colors and everything. I wanted to do fine arts for a very long time. But then I did my foundation and then I said कि I want to make a commercial use out of this. Like fine arts is you are labeled as an artist and then what are you going to do? How are you going to, feed yourself, your family and whatnot.
Correct.
Then I was like, you take that fine art approach and then you implement it in commercial arts. I still like doing illustrations and everything, but now I've changed and tweaked my ways. So there are like different ways to go about it. So you start applying yourself, you start developing your style. I think eventually, I will not say I'm not in the right field. I am here, but it was a very long way. It was like a detour. I had to go through a lot of obstacles. My dad wanted me to be an architect. Then he said कि नहीं अभी interior designing तो तुझे करना ही होगा. तो उसका भी exam दिया. So it's a very funny story. I had given my entrance exam for Rachna Sansar and I did well. It is drawing and everything. It was very color schemes, visualization, ये सब तो अपना हाथ का धूल है. तो वो मैंने किया. And for the first two lists, I didn't go. And then I went for the third list. So I said, Dad, my name is not there in the list. I don't think. So my dad was really disappointed. This and that. ये वो इसका नाम ही नहीं है, क्या फायदा? ये तू इतना अच्छा ड्राइंग वाइंग सब कर सकता है और तू तेरे टेस्ट नहीं हो सकता है क्या तेरा? बोला ठीक है ना, जाने दो. मैं I will want to do my foundation रहेगा. Then he called up Rachna Sansad का like office में phone वगैरह किया. And that time there were very limited seats because Rachna Sansad was an architecture college and then interiors के लिए limited seats रहता. So it was like a part-time thing. तो उन्होंने फोन किया रचना संसद के ऑफिस में. बोलता हाँ भाई का नाम है पहला लिस्ट में. तो बोला अभी सीट्स तो फुल हो गया. तो आके बोला ये झूठ बोला है, इसका नाम लिस्ट में था. फिर मैं बोला कि मुझे लगा ही नहीं कि मेरा नाम आएगा. Somehow I escaped that thing. Then I went for foundation. Foundation was a big turn for me. I met people who are still my friends and in a way I look up to them and they were from fine arts. And I used to hang out with them because I like doing that kind of stuff like landscape करना है and then थोड़ा portrait सीखना है ये करना. But then I knew कि it's not my cup of tea because I'm not going to be patient कि ये लाइन बराबर से ड्रॉ करो और I used to see I've grown up watching cartoons, Batman, novels, graphic novels. Then it was very graphic for me. Fine arts, but in a very graphic kind of form, like very abstract, वैसे type. So I kept building on that, but then I had friends who were from fine arts, and then I understood how the base of fine art is important if you want to illustrate or be an illustrator or a visual artist. See, all this is defined by syllabus. I cannot say like a good fine artist can design a logo. Probably he'll design it, but he'll probably not understand ki these are the things that are needed for a logo. So which I feel people like us have, where you can break things and you can see ki, because at most of the times we are doing it for the mass. Fine art is something, it's like a perception. Like your perception towards a certain piece would be different and my perception would be something else. So aisa hai. And then it kept going on. And then ended up doing my foundation at Raheja. Then I finished. Then I went to Singapore. I did my master's over there with Raffles University. I don't think they have a... That time they were associated with RMIT of Australia. It was one of the reputed Australian universities. And they had like a collaboration with Raffles. So I did finish my course over there. Because of my base and foundation in India, I could get a credit of 1.5 years. तो 3.5 2.5 साल का कोर्स था. 4 years का जो कोर्स था, it got reduced to 1.5 because the kind of base I had in India.
आपने BFA किया ना?
नहीं, मैंने BFA नहीं किया. मैंने फाउंडेशन किया. Then मैंने कमर्शियल आर्ट्स किया वर्ली रहेजा से, अप्लाइड आर्ट्स.
Okay.
And then because that was foundation 1 year and applied arts 3 years.
3 years.
So wo and then the portfolio and the kind of work that I did, they saw it and say, this guy is good, he can skip one semester. जो तुम लोग का अभी कैसे होता है, like 6 months का और 1 semester करके. So I had that whole entire semester off. And then I joined and so whatever I learned here helped me. It's not like कि अरे ये करके मैंने वापस वो कर रहा हूँ. वहाँ पे I was doing I wanted to do my masters further. वहाँ पे मैंने मेरा bachelor's किया, Raffles में, Singapore. So there I did. So there is this prestigious award at that point of time. It was there, Crowbar करके था. So I won that for the college in advertising. Campaign किया था Honda के ऊपर. And then worked in Ogilvy Red Card for 6-7 months and
So सिंगापुर में काम किया कि वापस आया?
No, Singapore में I worked with the agency, but then I was on probation and कि थोड़ा perform करो. So they were like, we want you here, but we want to see how you develop or how you. I wanted to hang out in advertising, but not for so long. Because my thing was to do illustrations. I wanted to create I always want and will to start my own streetwear brand. So, uska constant grind tha. It still will happen soon.
Yeah, I heard you are launching your own
So
streetwear
we are working on it, and then it's a very grinding process. I've been there a lot of times. Like I've given up, and then I said, I'll do it again. If you want to make money also, and then if you want to start your own thing also, it's not easy. It's not like I'm doing like a 9 to 5 kind of job. So I'm wanting to work with my clients. और एक बार काम का प्रेशर आता है तो lot of personal things take a step back. Freelancing is not easy. It's a struggle. It's always like the grass is always greener on the other side.
आपको आपका पहला freelance project कब मिला था and how much was it for?
It's a very interesting thing. मतलब फुल ऐसा एक प्रोजेक्ट था और उसके ऊपर 6 लोग काम कर रहे थे। एक कोई बिल्डर का काम था घाटकोपर या चेंबूर साइड में, और डिजाइनर 6 और लोगो बनाना है 1। तो हम लोग ने ऐसे 8 वेरिएशंस वगैरह बनाए। इट वाज लॉन्ग टाइम बैक, इट वाज वेरी फनी। सो लाइक अरे सब लोगों को दिखा, पसंद आया ऐसा, तो पैसे लेने गए 6 लोग। मिल रहा है कितना, 2000 रुपए
per person
हाँ?
or entire thing
No, the entire thing.
for 2000?
बस हाँ, it was in college. हम लोग जिस कॉलेज से पास आउट हुआ था, बोला कुछ तो फ्रीलांस तो 2-3 हजार रुपया कुछ तो मिल रहा था, और फिर स्टेशनरी का अलग से हम लोग बोला अरे भाई लोग चाह रहे तो पैसे तो बढ़ने चाहिए ना। वेरी रॉ, मतलब कैसे प्रिंटिंग विंटिंग क्या करते हैं मालूम ही नहीं, खाली आरजीबी में दिखाना है और सीएमआई के में प्रिंट करना है, उतना मालूम। एंड देन वो सब किया, एंड देन दैट वाज द फर्स्ट, इट वाज वेरी हिलेरियस मैन, everything was hilarious about it. Imagine like 4 people going to collect 3000 rupees in a builder's office. सब लोग ऐसे लाइन में बैठे हैं और 2 जन नीचे थे, अरे मैं बोला गर्दी मत करो। 2 लोग नीचे बैठे, कुछ नहीं किया डूड, हम लोग गए, आई थिंक वी प्रॉब्ली जस्ट लाइक किधर तो होटल में खाया था। That time $2000 was a lot. हम लोग वो द 90s या करके कोई तो एक पब था, उधर गए हिल रोड पे। Then when I came back here from Singapore, I said कि मुझे घर में नहीं बैठना है। I said and I'll look for a job immediately. So then I joined Makani Creatives, not Macan. I'm very happy that I joined that place. It's owned by Sameer Makani and Ashish Makani, 2 genuine people. And at that point of time, they had one of the best. I still feel they have like best retail brands from India. So ID shoes मालूम है?
ID shoes.
Yeah, ID shoes तभी तुम लोग छोटे रह गए बहुत। ID shoes बहुत famous था। M&B footwear, मोची पता है?
हाँ, मुझे पता है।
So imagine like he had 2 rival brands in the same agency. He managed to have them for a very long time. I think they still have it. So that time I worked with a lot of people over there, seniors, and then I started understanding. It was more of की brainstorming कैसे करना है, क्या करना है. मैंने ऐसे नहीं, अभी दूसरा मेरे को brand चालू करना है. Got influenced. That was also through someone. That's a different chapter. So like, Harry, you should start your own thing and all. Let's start a t-shirt brand. So I did inspiration. I did it for a while. I had a t-shirt label before social media. So I existed before Instagram and all that. So I'm that old. So मैंने क्या तभी काला घोड़ा वगैरह सब किया. It was more like a काला घोड़ा was very nice at that point of time. So I did a lot of exhibitions, made a lot of money. Seriously made a lot of money and just did bad investments. थोड़ा मजे करेंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे.
कितना maximum you earned?
Yeah,